What's going on, guys? SB here. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. We've got a special episode for you guys today here on the Frag Effect. I think we're on like episode 24. The response has been awesome. We really appreciate the feedback that you guys have been giving as far as the special guests and how to progress the conversations forward and who I should bring on next. I've got two very special guests in store for you guys for one epic interview. Strap up. Let's go for that ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Listen, guys, this interview took some time to cook because, quite honestly, I wanted to sit and do my research. I met this great group of individuals several months back, I believe in light of Scent Explorer in New York. I was just browsing the internet and found these folks talking about fragrances the way I like to hear it, and also recapping their experience there. But we'll get into all of that in the details later. But for now, let me introduce these guests for you now. All right, so here today I have 2/3, right, guys? 2/3 of the clique.
Two-thirds, yes.
From the Can We Be Fragrant podcast and content channel on YouTube. Start with Kareem. Introduce yourself to the people.
Peace, 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 and blessings. Coming to you live from gorgeous Prince George's. It's Kareem, and I am 9 times out of 10 the best smelling person in the room. Fragrance lover, collector. I'm an introvert, but will have zero problems talking about fragrances. So thank you for having me on, SB.
Absolutely. Jess, introduce yourself to the people, please.
Woo. Well, I'm Jess for the love of Jess underscore on all socials. I am just a girly who loves smelling good, and despite what Kareem says, I smell better than him.
You see, when he said 9 times out of 10, it's the time when you step in the room he had to account for.
Exactly.
She was a non-factor, but go ahead.
Not true.
Non-factor is crazy.
Wait,
Okay.
do you see the shirt? Do you see the shirt? Do you
I
see
have
the
the same
shirt?
shirt. I have the same shirt.
Okay.
She said been there, done that, Kareem.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, when I was thinking of putting together this show, a lot of stuff was on my mind. Who you guys are as individuals, you know, the origin story of the channel, current events, your personal taste for fragrance, a lot of different things. And when I bring somebody on that the people haven't seen before on my channel, my goal is to paint a picture, give you guys the tools to show who you are and your involvement in fragrance, inspire people, give your testimony to people to show just all the different facets of the fragrance community. I look at the fragrance community like a diamond with thousands of cuts, and you guys represent one side of the diamond with your unique journey. So I'm going to kind of hop around a few different places. Because I have the both of you, I tried to gear this to very much include both of you as much as humanly possible. So I'm not going to go too crazy into origin story and all that because I just want people to learn about you guys as fragrance lovers, and we can touch back on that later when I have you guys individually. So I actually am excited because I think this might be one of the Frag Effects where I've had more than one guest. So I'm excited to see where this goes into. Now, before we do anything, scent of the day, starting with Kareem.
This is deep, and this is going to get me in trouble because I'm supposed to tell the truth here. Um, I don't remember the name. I'm gonna have to go look this up, but we got it at the Virginia Scent Society event that Jessica and I went to, and a woman was selling it, and I talked her down to $5, and her Cash App didn't work, and she eventually gave it to me. The bottle looks like a chalice, and everyone said that it's a dupe. But I saw it today before I was leaving out the house to go see someone that got upset with me, and left their house and came right back home to do this interview. So
Okay.
I don't remember the name of that fragrance, but I will share it with you offline, or so you can put it in
Yeah, yeah,
afterwards.
absolutely. What's it smell like though? Just give us a little
It
rundown.
gives me sangria vibes.
Oh, okay. So like a fruit splash,
Yeah, yeah, but it's got some oomph in it, like some patchouli or some oud or something in there.
which to me a fragrance like that needs because it is
This
jamming.
I love sangria, but I'm afraid to say I think this might smell better.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, it's crazy. Sangria is one of those fragrances where it's a good fragrance, no doubt. But I think the reason a lot of people gravitate towards it is because the claim is that you get a lot of feedback. Like people smell it in the air. What the heck are you wearing? You know, and so it's kind of one of those things where if you love having conversation starters or just people smelling you and you know, asking you what you're wearing, it seems like Sangria out of most of the Lorenzo line seems to be a high compliment or, you know, feedback getter.
It's different, it's unique, and it lasts and projects. Most people have no problem smelling it. So I just typed in um, fragrance bottle that's red and looks like a chalice, and it came back. It's Bahia Garnet by Arabiat Prestige.
Okay, so it is a clone.
Yeah,
Arabia Prestige is among the top 3 best clone houses out for 2026, and
look
I
at
do
that.
I do recall they had a Sangria rendition come out this year. So look at you, hey Kareem. I thought Jess, am I Kareem?
You're not.
I thought you don't do clones.
So at the time, I didn't know.
Okay,
I
you got
really just thought
bamboozled, is what you're
no,
saying.
no, no, not necessarily. I just thought the bottle was so unique.
Mm-hmm.
And when I smelled the fragrance, I was like, this smells familiar, but it smells good. How much are you letting it go for? And when the lady said $5, I was like, you can't beat that.
Hmm.
Would
And if
would you pay
if
40
nothing
to
else,
$60 for it?
no. Um, and no, knowing what I know now, no. But uh, for $5, I'm like, you can't beat it. And for nothing else, the bottle was really nice, like I said, and I thought it would be great to bring on the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't
Jess,
spend $40, $60 for something like that.
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. Jess, what were you wearing?
Florical, one umbrella for two, is the scent of the day. Very
Okay.
nice.
Sound like you were
Very.
speaking French.
I know, I know. It's new to me. I smelled it, fell in love instantly, and needed it. Black currant tea, sandalwood, vanilla, like all of the things, but it's such a beautiful scent. Such a beautiful scent.
Awesome. My scent, because everybody's been talking about it online, including you, Rob, Midsummer's Dream.
Nice.
And I was just enjoying it. It's bittersweet every time I wear that fragrance because I gave the bottle away. So I decanted 50 mil from it because I co-bought it with a friend of mine. So every time
Mm,
I wear it, it's bittersweet because I love the scent, but I hate the bottle I put it in.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
damn.
I'm gonna have to spin the block and actually get that bottle because I remember it was hard for me to even ship it out when I got it.
Mm.
Um, I want to pivot. Beautiful scents, guys. Um, I want to start with the Can We Be Fragrant show. I'm gonna describe this show for you guys, and then I want you to tell me what I'm missing. Sound good?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can We Be Fragrant is a fragrance conversation channel more than a traditional fragrance review channel. Its central idea is that perfume is connected to memory, identity, relationships, confidence, routines, and everyday life, not merely notes, ratings, and bottle rankings. The brand describes itself as a podcast and community devoted to the intimate connection between scent and the moments that define us. The channel's overall feel is casual, conversational, community oriented, and podcast driven, Rather than one person standing in front of a shelf reviewing a bottle, the channel often feels like friends sitting around a table discussing what they've been wearing, buying, regretting, layering, or remembering. The channel may be aimed for people who are new fragrance fans who want a practical, approachable guidance to their fragrance journey. Also, established collectors who enjoy longer fragrance conversations, viewers interested in the emotional and psychological side of scent, and people who enjoy chemistry between hosts and guests as much as the fragrance information. Guys, what am I missing?
Um,
Nothing on.
I was just gonna say, I think that's very good. The only thing that I would just miss is that we are also just building community with the podcast, right? The whole point was that you get to know us, like not just on a we're showing off fragrances, right? But you really get to know us, so that when we are out in public, it's like family every time.
Gotcha. So when they turn on the screen, whether they turn on the screen or see you in person, that's a seamless transition.
It is, and we've kind of recorded people talking about it. Like I'll often ask people that we've met online, that have come met us for the first, or that would meet us for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
how different are we? And they say you all are spot on. Like our interactions, the things we talk about, how we operate, how we move. It's a it's the same thing. It's not like a two-faced person or anything like that.
Awesome. And Jess, you have anything to piggyback off of that, or was that?
No, I definitely agree. Everyone has said we are the same, and I'm super thankful for that. What we're doing online is translating to real life because that's really important to me. So I agree with everything you both said.
Yeah, I think in a world of fragrance where there's a lot of personalities on YouTube and the different platforms, sometimes you do wonder, is that your social media self? You
Mm.
know, what or are you much different when the camera's off? You know, because there is a sense of when the camera's on, you're aware of it and you're trying to be somewhat professional with a format and you're trying to be helpful to the community and things like that. And when you see people off camera, it's unscripted. So, there's gonna be a little bit of difference, but it's great when you feel like the person that you're spending time with on the camera is exactly who you get in person. It makes things so much more comfortable and reassuring that the right reasons is why you like the content in the first place, because it's genuine and it's coming from real people. I want to ask you guys a couple of questions. um Either one of you, what does the title "Can We Be Fragrant" mean for the channel?
Kareem.
Um, so the the honest answer is, I was sitting back one day and talking to just a couple of people or whatever, right? And about fragrances, we were kind of bragging about could we break out something that um, smells good that the other person wasn't familiar with or whatever. And somehow the saying, I think I was asking if I could be frank about something. And then in saying, can I be frank? I was like, wait, can I be fragrant or frank? And then I just kind of stuck with it at that point. And I realized that it was kind of catchy, and the people that I had said something to about it, they was like, I kind of like that. Um, but it's really just about smelling good. How can we talk about smelling good? How can we connect with each other over scent? Um, it's I don't want to sound redundant, but it's just like the easiest way to talk to someone, just to ask them like, what are you wearing? You smell good. Like that could just light up any person.
Yeah,
I don't know anyone that wouldn't like enjoy hearing that from someone.
it's one of the easiest beginnings to a connection with somebody. I really believe that. um Now, I'm going to have Jess take it from here, but it's going to circle back to you, Kareem, just so the people out there in the world know. I'm speaking to two-thirds of the collective from Can We Be Fragrant. Nigel is not here with us. Don't worry, Nigel. I haven't forgotten about you. We will have you on next. And I've got something special for you. So you better hurry up with all that traveling. And when you get back to Earth, I got a great interview in store for you. But Jess,
Yeah.
I want you to describe Kareem and Nigel. So when you describe Kareem, I need 3 words, not a sentence, 3 separate words in your mind to describe Kareem, and then do it with Nigel as well.
Ooh. Um, Kareem is patient. Um, this isn't a word per se, but type A is like a
Uh huh.
description. He's
Sure.
type A. Um, and low key, he's very funny. Very funny.
High
And I
key.
don't think
High
most
key.
people I don't think most people know that because you have to be around him to really get his humor.
Yeah, his
Or like,
style. Mm-hmm.
yes, his style of humor. And it's like it can mix in with things if you don't get it. Like you don't know, but Kareem is really funny. I laugh often when I'm around him. Nigel, 3 words. Um, hmm, I'm finding it. I would say Nigel is curious. He's very kind as well. And I'm trying to think of one more word that like because it's not a word, it's a phrase, but honestly, Nigel's just all over the place in the best way possible. I don't know another way to put it because you never know what you're going to get with him. And if there's a word for that, please insert. I just don't know what that one word is.
Yeah.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Thank you. Exactly.
I
Exactly
literally
it.
was thinking all over the place was 3 words that I would have just said to describe him.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. That's fair. Unpredictable.
I will say, to piggyback off the comment that Kareem is funny, I realized very quickly watching y'all show that a lot of Kareem's humor is piggybacked off of a "if you know, you know" scenario. So I remember early on watching the show, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to watch a couple of these podcasts just to see all the little digs he be doing when he be side
Yeah.
hustling with a lot of
Mhm.
these cracks. But
Yeah.
Kareem, you give me 3 words for Jess.
Um, strict.
Be for real, Kareem.
um, no, she kind of bossy slash sassy. She's nice when she wants to be. Um, and she's very, I'd say she's like warm. You know what I'm saying? Like you could sit down and have a conversation with her, and she can kind of just make you feel good about talking to her.
Hey, you
If that
saved
makes
yourself with
sense.
that last word, Kareem. You was hanging by a thread. I seen her eye twitching.
I'm always hanging by a thread.
It is. That's true.
I'm used to it.
I'm curious from the both of you, if any, some of these questions, most of these questions are easy, but I have to challenge you guys. I know you're ready for it. Let's start with Jess. What do you think, if anything, the fragrance community, in terms of content, is missing? What would you say is something you've wanted to see from the content world of fragrance that you feel like not a lot of people spend time on?
Mm. You know, that's a hard question because I don't really consume as much content as people may think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know in totality what's missing. I just create content. But I guess,
Well,
um,
why don't you stay with that then? What do you seek
yeah.
to do in your content to be different?
I think I do something to cater to everyone. I don't think I just fit in one box, and I think that's what works for me. And that is something that I wish that more people would do because either you have to be a niche snob or a designer snob, or you're in the Arabic bag of things, and there aren't too many people that I see that are doing all of those things. And I think I do a pretty good job at talking about super high end stuff, and then also things that are more affordable. So I would love to see more people do that, because I think perspective is everything. And even if it's something that you're, let's say, comparing and inspired by with the real thing, more of that type of thing from somebody who is typically just a niche person. And it could go left, right? But just not being so boxy with your content is something I would like to see more of, because most people are only in one bag: niche, designer, Arabic, maybe indie,
Yeah,
you
there's a lot
know?
of cul-de-sacs in the fragrance
Yes.
space.
Yeah.
Kareem, let me reshape this question for you. It's the same question, but I want to reshape it. What do you enjoy most that you guys provide on Can We Be Fragrant, in terms of your channel value to the viewer? Like, what's something that you're really proud you guys feel like you convey with your show?
That's a great question. I would say personality. Um, Eventually, some of these brands are going to run out of fragrances and flankers, but I don't think we're going to run out of personality. We're not going to run out of sharing our experiences and our stories. Um, I think you can literally tune into 1,000 channels and watch somebody's hand hold a bottle and do this all day,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you aren't going to find many where we're cracking jokes with each other. We're sharing experiences. Jessica's sharing one of her many date night stories. It's it's that type of stuff, right? That you can tune in and you can get also what smells good. I don't know anybody that's uh doing videos that's matching Jessica's combos. You know, she's putting boxing heavyweight level combos together, knocking folks out. So you can tune in and get all kinds of things. You can see Nigel bring fragrances that he really shouldn't be buying, but he does. But he does.
Okay.
um, yeah, and I wanted to even just ask you guys further, like, one of the things I notice about Can We Be Fragrant is you guys very naturally cover all the bases, it seems, of the perfume world in terms of, and this is all air quotes, but entry level, some kind of known stuff, all the way to like obscure. So that's why I made the description that you guys cover everything from beginner to super collector and everything in between. Did that just naturally happen with you guys as a product of what type of collector you are? Did you have any intention of going into the show? Because I do think that that's rare in terms of the community type of conversation aesthetic that you guys have. You find influencers that can be that way, where they cover a lot of stuff, but it always seems like there's a good level of balance between dancing in all these different arenas of fragrance, whether it's Sephora or a fragrance event or online or off in the corner somewhere, something someone's never heard of. Just you three, and then even to the guests you guys bring on, there's just such a wide range. Is that intentional, or was that just God did?
Um,
Oh, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Corey.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
I was just gonna say that um, it's such a combination of things, right? Like I think the initial part of the or creation of the show was the just talk about fragrances. It didn't matter who brought what. You could bring dupes. You could bring $1,000 bottles. Right? They're all stories and experiences that we share. I've been influenced by people that are on and off of YouTube. Um, I know that I also influence people that have come on Nigel, and so there's that mix there, but then also Jessica brings things together. Like I'm not well versed in women's fragrances, but Jessica is,
Mm-hmm.
and it just so happens that she puts or introduces us to things that we haven't heard of, that side of things. Maybe we're doing the same for her. um
Yeah.
I just feel like we know that we don't know everything, so we're kind of open to experiencing everything and getting perspectives from people from all over. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to just limit ourselves to we only can talk to black people. We can only talk to people that have $1 million fragrance room. I want to be able to share these stories with anyone and everyone. Like we're including everyone.
And one of the things that's been so fascinating to see with the show is where you guys meet in the middle in two areas. One where you guys connect on unisex fragrances, back and forth, that dynamic of what stuff you guys like together, what stuff you don't, and the women's fragrances that the men love smelling on the woman, and vice versa, the ones that just says, oh, I like that on a man, and seeing the selection dynamic and all that. That's really fascinating to me because it's like you guys have your own pockets, but fragrance naturally has opportunities like those to bring you guys, where you guys would both enjoy a particular fragrance equally the same way, um, because both of you would wear it, or both of you guys would put it on your significant other, or would wear it to the same occasion. That's really dope to me that it can be that dynamic. Jess, did you want to add anything to his?
Yeah, I just was gonna say like, and you kind of touched on it, as far as like the unisex and me bringing things and them having the male sense. This is a show for everyone. The email to the show starts with stories that smell good, right? So while the show is called Can We Be Fragrant, the email is stories that smell good. The only thing that we ask when you come on the show is to have a story. We don't care what fragrance you're bringing. Like Kareem said, it could be a $1,200 Kriegler fragrance, or it could be an inspired by fragrance, but having a story to go along with it. And I think I do bring something different with, obviously, they're men, they're not buying women's fragrances, right? So that reaches a different audience. And I think it's important for us to reach all audiences. And I want you and your wife to be able to sit down and watch the show, and you both can get something from what we're talking about. And we do have little inside jokes and things, but for the most part it's like we're talking about fragrance and our experiences with them. And more times than not, the people can relate to these stories. We'll get DMs after saying, oh my gosh, I related to you in this way. People will comment, on the video. So those things are like the reasons why we stay in all the pockets and we don't just stick to one thing.
Yeah, and I would say like a lot of us content creators have big goals for our channel and different target audiences and things, and that oftentimes is subject to change because as you get in the space you have experiences that can kind of turn the sail. Your guys' goal and intentions that you have described today, one thing I could say is that because of who you guys are and all your different personalities and your actual fragrance journey that you're living out individually, it makes those goals in terms of your target audience so achievable because all three of you guys are in the room. You guys are just covering such a broad range, and your chemistry is good, so you can do it elegantly in a way that people would actually want to watch as entertainment. Because it's one thing to have a fragrance journey, it's another thing to communicate that through the screen with the same level of enthusiasm and energy to be received by somebody, to receive it similar to the way you're feeling it in real time. So that's special. Just wanted to, give you guys a compliment because I think it's because of who you guys are and just the way that the format of the show is set up. It's set up for you guys to be able to cover those, goals very easily and it looks natural the way you guys tackle that goal of the community feel. Who is the biggest fragrance enabler of the group?
That's a good question. That's a great question.
Is your answer going to be my answer? What's your answer?
I, I think it's you, actually. I think it's you.
That was my answer as
I
well.
think I
Yeah,
think it's you.
yeah,
You guys think all three of you guys would probably say it's Jess?
for sure.
Okay.
Nigel might think it's him, because Nigel just be thinking everything is him, but
You reading
it's
my
for
mind, Jessica, because I
it's
like
it's for
I'm literally thinking Nigel was going to probably think himself,
yeah, but no,
but I really think it's Jessica
it's me.
Okay. Okay. Well, she do be doing this all day, every day.
all day,
Um,
every day.
Do you guys remember a fragrance that you either presented or was presented to you on your show that all three of you guys felt opposite about?
Oh, we all three felt opposite.
Yeah, like one of
Mm.
you was like, I absolutely love this. One of you was like, I absolutely hate this. One of you might have said, I don't know. Was there a fragrance that you're just like, one of y'all was like, I don't know why you don't love this, like you just couldn't see eye to eye on it, and that you guys remember?
Blue Day Chanel, the parfum. Nigel hates it to his core. I don't understand what there is to hate about that fragrance, but I brought it on 3 or 4 different times. And Jessica likes the smell. I don't know if she still does, but she liked the smell. Other guests have liked it. Nigel he stands 10 toes down that it's not a good fragrance.
Well, see, Nigel, I remember him saying early on that a fragrance has to make him tingle inside.
Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
does
And
say
so
He just
that.
be talk. He just
so
be talking.
so
He does
when
say
I
that.
heard that, I could understand why he wouldn't like Bleu de Chanel, because it's a great practical utility fragrance, and at the time that's not what Nigel's looking for. He's not looking for something that he could just use. He's looking for an orgasm when he smells a fragrance,
Yes.
and that's not what Bleu de Chanel
Yes.
is.
Knowing what we know now, that applies just across the board apparently. But
Oh gosh.
that that and we ain't had no XXL tonight. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, it yeah, he's looking for I don't know. He was looking for something that I don't know that gives him that reaction, but I don't know that I don't think fragrances really do that. I don't know. Maybe they do to some people. I don't know.
They do to some people. I was thinking of one, and it's one that I bought on recently, and it's French Cowboy Pear Pavlova. And I feel like we all have very different thoughts about that one. Even though it was my fragrance, I'm very undecided about it. Very undecided. Nigel initially was like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing in the world." Corinne was like, "Nah, no." I think you were like, mm-mm. Um, and so those are three different reactions. Nigel eventually changed his to be like, "No, I don't think I like it," once he put it on skin, but yeah, for sure, Pear Pavlova.
I love seeing moments like that on camera, because we wouldn't say this out loud, but I think we feel this sometimes. Just It's just a product of being in a niche together. Sometimes it's easy to feel so passionately about fragrance that you kind of sometimes may assume that the fragrance journey, everybody ends up in the same interests.
Mhm.
And so I love when a fragrance just puts you, back to back with each other, where I love this. No, it's not. It's definitely not for me, because it just shows like that was one of my biggest pet peeves early on in the content space, is just feeling like there was a group of people that felt like they arrived at something, and then a group of people that were just starting out. And it's like there are so many different things that affect why you love a fragrance that we can't possibly love a lot of it. We'll probably like some things together, but there should be tons of things that we care for that other people, it's not their tea. And I think we should feel very comfortable expressing that amongst one another, because there's some odd pressures of like, oh man, what are people going to think if I don't like Altair? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And I think it's pressures like that that stop people from experiencing real individuality with the fragrance journey. Being able to, if you like to go in TJ Maxx, go in TJ Maxx. If you like to, shop super mass appeal and it's a fragrance, but don't be afraid to wear it proudly and have your own experience with it that's different from what everybody else is like.
Right.
Do you, and also be hang out with people in fragrance that love that for you, and that you love that for them, so that we can all really enjoy this, because fragrance is so much more than a smell. It's therapy, it's joy, it's community, and those things get tarnished when we get boxed into different ways of control on our journey. um, I want to say this, and I'm going to adjust my lighting while you guys are answering this, so don't think I can't hear you. But of the three hosts, and we'll start with Kareem. Kareem, who would you trust out of Jess and Nigel to buy your next fragrance and it be something that you actually enjoy? And then we'll pivot over to Jess.
That's a difficult question. I think you both bring something to the table, but I feel like I would lean towards Jessica. Um, she's gonna. I think she knows more about what I'm into in terms of fragrances and the direction to go in. Nigel, on the other hand, he would buy something that he likes and give it to me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's
Jess, what
true.
about you?
Kareem, easy. Um, and and no, it's funny because with Nigel, him and I sometimes have similar tastes. We like sweeter fragrances. We share the love for the vanilla note. Kareem pushes the envelope for me. And with a collection like mine, I need someone that's going to push the envelope and not play it safe. And I feel like Kareem is going to be the one to do that. He obviously watches my content. He listens. He's attentive to the things. Not that Nigel isn't, right? But I think it's just in a different way. I
Mm-hmm.
think Kareem would push the envelope. He'll listen to what I want and pay attention to the notes that I want. Always go with your first mind, Kareem. Always, because it happened for my birthday, right? If you would have went with your first mind, you know. But
Yeah.
also, yeah, just Kareem. I think he would push the envelope, but still be in a pocket that I very much would enjoy.
Now, do you think for that same reason, though, that that would put Nigel in a position to have a higher probability of showing you a fragrance you never would have thought you loved that you love?
No,
No.
here's and I'll just say this. Kareem and I make it our business and make it a point, like it's a priority for us to always get our nose on new things. We don't just go for what's trendy. We pay attention to obviously what people are talking about, but also like the things that we like in notes and different brands. And it- with that being said, there's nothing respectfully new that he's necessarily going to introduce me to unless it's a brand that is out of the country. But
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
as far as things that are like here that we can, I feel like me and Kareem would have that more in the bag.
Makes sense.
Uh,
Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have so many segments for you guys, and I'm going to have to trim the heck out of some fat because I want to touch on a little bit of everything that I have to cover. So, I want to speed through this next segment, but I still need to get y'all's opinion on it. We're going to go back and forth between you two. So, I'm going to grab the originality, dupes, clone, and fragrance debate. Okay? And I want to ask you guys 5 questions based on it. So, I'm going to read this for y'all. A newly published academic study analyzing perfume data from the 1900s through 2024 found that modern fragrance profiles have generally become more minimalist while their note combinations have grown more original. The researchers also found widespread imitations, but reported that more original creations tended to receive a stronger performance and appreciation score. Question for the group. At what point, actually, we'll have you guys go back and forth. We'll start with Kareem and then I'll give Jess a new question. Kareem, at what point does an inspiration become copying to you?
I think when there's like no differentiation, uh,
We talking
it's
smell?
in smell and like the the prototype of the formula, right? Or the composition. Meaning like um I heard somewhere recently where somebody was talking about Aventus, like it has that pineapple in it.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody just creates some sort of pineapple-ish sandalwood smoke, you're gonna be like, all right, that's giving me Aventus. You I, if you really want to be inspired by, you kind of take maybe some of that, but then you twist the pineapple and use a mandarin, a guava, or something. You know what I'm saying? But to just try to copy, mimic something completely, I feel like there's no difference between inspired at that point.
So you have a capacity and an interest in remixes so long as they are that. Like slight deviations you wouldn't say, "Hey, that's you're copying." You would respect that.
Right, because you're inspired by something, right? Perfect example. Uh, maybe my hat right here says Game of Colognes. It was
Mhm.
inspired by Game of Thrones. It's not the same thing. It's not a duplicate, but I was inspired by that saying, that show, something. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's that type of thing for me.
Okay. I can gel with that for sure. Jess, are clone houses helping consumers or harming perfumery?
Mm,
I know
I
you've
feel
had some
like
experience with the things. So, what have you had a positive experience? Do you think about the back end of what that does for the future of perfume, or are you just enjoying it right now for how much variety you get?
so. I always teeter on this question more so on the consumer side because Kareem and all, I always have this healthy debate. I don't think because someone can't afford a fragrance, they should not have access to that DNA, right? So I always think of things from that standpoint. Some people, for whatever reasons, will never be able to afford, let's say, a trap ribs, which is one of my favorites. And there's somebody who makes a trap ribs or Delina exclusive. From the consumer side, it's helpful for them to get their nose on the DNA. Where it becomes a little harmful is when people are listening to me as a content creator or any content creator. I'm just using myself as an example.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm describing the way a trap rev smells, or I'm describing Delina exclusive. They go out, buy something based on my description, and then say, "Oh well, no, they don't disclose that they're wearing the dupe. They're
Right.
they're saying, oh no, I'm wearing the actual fragrance." And
Mm.
for the sake of perfumers, here's the thing, the more you know. A lot of times, these perfumers are not formulating these fragrances from the beginning to the end. There are people in a lab formulating them, and then you have your Quentin Beaches and your MFKs and those people who come in and do the final check, maybe add a note or two, and that's that. So, um, my my loyalty is not to the perfumer, it's to the fragrance. And because the perfumer, they're just doing a 1-2 check off, unless you're one of those brands who does everything from beginning to the end, which we all know is done. There's so much nuance to this
It's deep.
conversation.
It's deep.
It's deep because where does, and to Kareem's point, where does it end? Some of our favorites, the Elemental, someone just duped him. He sent it to me, or they tried to dupe him, and he's doing everything from beginning to end. You have the clean team, and like well, they're not doing everything from beginning to end, but these smaller perfumers who are taking the time to do it, and it's like, when is enough enough? But I do get the appeal of wanting an inspired by or a dupe, if you will, for the people who want to smell that DNA. Maybe they've only smelled it in store and now they want it, but they can't afford it. So,
Based off that answer, Jess, you're getting the next question because I hit you with a rock. Does originality matter if the consumer simply wants to smell good?
oh, I do think it matters, right? Um, because while we all want to smell good, do we all want to smell alike? And i.e.,
Oh, she's
that is
spitting right now, Kareem.
yeah, that's the reason that maybe I do layering combos, or and I know my layering combos are controversial to people, Kareem, because he hates layering. However, originality matters. And you know, where do people's dreams go if they're just creating the same thing over and over and over? And let's say you smell something tomorrow, SB, and you are like, oh my God, I've never smelled this in a fragrance. I want it. That's originality. Let's say it's, now I know there's a scent out here that has asphalt, but let's just say the first person to put an asphalt note in a fragrance or something, right? And that's somebody's favorite fragrance. But imagine if everybody just wanted to smell like Blue de Chanel or just so no, like originality, no matter what, matters.
Yeah,
There's
and I
always
th-
going to be room for that.
I think who you are as a person really plays into how this question is answered, because for a lot of people, fragrance is expression, and part of that expression is the individuality. And if you struggle to be individual, because you would never look for something that's common, because it's just in your nature to express yourself as truly and fully as possible, and that would require going outside of the box. Kareem, should reviewers disclose when clone brands send them free bottles? Oh, actually, it's a two-part question. Should they disclose if they got the bottles for free when they're giving reviews?
I think they should, because you need to know where a person stands. And if what they're saying is truly their words or true, um, you don't want to feel like this is somebody that you could listen to, you'd be influenced by, and the whole time they're being influenced and paid for by another company.
Now, on that same token, though, does the disclosure discount their credibility at that point? The moment they tell you that they got the bottles for free, do you immediately say, okay, in one ear and out the other?
I feel like it matters. And I guess I'm going to feel kind of like a hypocrite here when I say this, because um, me personally, I don't necessarily want free stuff like that, because it would always make people question, like, are the things we talking about on the show for real or not? But Jess just got me a set from a brand. I don't know that we're gonna say it, but I had planned to bring that on and review it. So they gave that to me of no cost. So technically that would need to be disclosed or said. So now is my word not honest and true anymore at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, I to add to this conversation, I think this is where your track record really comes into play. Um, if you have a history with your community of not being in that scenario, and people get to see the way you describe fragrances and what influences you to get up and turn on the camera every day in your interactions with other people, when you get to that position where you could be compromised by public perception of, PR, that's when they'll look back at their relationship with you and that you've given to the audience, and make a discernment and say, you know what, he's disclosing it to me, and I know his track record, so I know he's going to have a level of honesty with me that's more trustworthy than person X over here. So it's important that you have a track record in this game, because we're all going to get in scenarios where you get the opportunity for PR, and you don't want to have to shy away from that simply because it just tarnishes who you are. Hopefully your rep speaks louder than that scenario, but it's definitely something I see a lot of content creators struggle with. Man, I can't, I don't know if I want to disclose this, because I think they just turn my video off the moment I say I got it for free. And I think people have good reason to in a lot of situations, because people who get PR do the most sometimes,
The most.
and sometimes it's in a genuine pursuit. Like, sometimes people just be out here twerking for no reason, but then there's other people that don't want to tarnish relationships with brands, so that even when they want to say they don't like something, they're going to dress it up a bit so that they don't tarnish the relationship, could possibly do business in the future, which isn't bad either, right? Like, there's a way that we can go about talking about fragrance, especially since it's so subjective. Good, you guys. I like the way you guys are handling these questions. We're gonna let you guys air out a little bit with something a little simpler. Let's jump into a quick game called Scenarios. And I have so many scenarios, but I'm just gonna do two, because I definitely want to get to my last segment here. Let's talk some fragrances, guys. I'm gonna give each of you a scenario, and you tell me the fragrance you would pick. Okay? And I'm gonna narrate it a little bit. We're not gonna just make it simple. this is going to be really fitting for Jess. This this scenario is called the old flame.
Mm.
You unexpectedly run into your ex at a social event, and you're looking better than ever. What fragrance are you wearing to make him reconsider everything?
Ooh, reconsider everything. You know, oh, that's hard. Can it just be one fragrance or a
Yeah.
layering combo?
No, you could give a layer.
And I'm gonna say this because this layering combo has been doing it for me recently, and I've gotten a bunch of compliments. But it is
Mm.
literally Nishane 100 Silent Ways, which you know I'm obsessed with
Yes.
Kayali the Wedding Silk Santal.
Mm.
Those two together, my God, today he wouldn't be able to think straight. He would not be able to think straight.
Mm.
Okay, okay, I see you. Now, Kareem, I heard you on a pod recently say that you own about 15 suits, correct? So, this scenario is the black tie invitation. You've been invited to a formal gala where everyone will be dressed to impress. What fragrance are you trusting to back out on that occasion?
Interesting. This happened not too long ago. We had a company party, and I had to dress up, and I wore Roja's Manhattan,
Ooh.
and and that's what I wore, and uh, it did what I needed it to do.
Oh, okay. Oh, it did the things, huh? Okay. All right, Jess. I want to hit y'all each with one since this is going pretty quick. Jess,
Yeah.
this scenario is called last minute trip. You
Okay.
have 1 hour to pack your bags for a spontaneous 3-day trip, but you can't layer and you can only bring one fragrance. You
Mm.
don't know exactly where you're going or what you'll be doing. So, what fragrance is going to cover all the possibilities?
Delina exclusive. If there's not a
Mmm.
place or time I cannot wear that fragrance. It fits every occasion. There's not one time I can't wear that.
Okay, okay. All right. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can lose with Delina.
Yeah.
Um, all right, Kareem. We got to scratch a different itch here. I was going to go with the quiet confidence, but that's too easy for Kareem. I'm going to hit you with a scenario called the creative room. You're walking into a studio session with musicians, artists, and other creatives. You want your fragrance to feel unique, expressive, and slightly unexpected. What are you wearing?
This is easy. This is easy. I'm gonna go with Argos, Adonis Awakens.
Ooh.
Mmm. I actually do love that choice. And it's modern. It's a modern juice, but it's
I
it's
love
highly
that
creative.
fragrance. It smells good. There's not anything out there that I think I've smelt that's close to that. Um, Gorgeous fragrance, projects, lasts, and it lets you know that you're there and you mean business.
Okay. I like these choices.
Mm.
Okay. We're going to go to my last segment here and we're going to still talk about some fragrances, but I want to see y'all's bias, okay? So, we're going to do one category of niche, one category of designer. I'm going to split it up amongst you two. And I want you guys pick who's doing niche, who's doing designer.
I'll do designer.
Okay.
Okay. For niche it
Jess
is.
has niche, and we're going to start with you. This is called keep, give away, or destroy. I have 3 brands for you: Initio, Surge Off, and Byredo. You have to keep one brand, give one brand away, and
Mm.
destroy the other. I'll say it again: Initio, Surge Off, and Byredo. What you doing?
I'm keeping Byredo. I'm giving away. Giveaway is the option, right?
Mm-hmm. Giveaway and
I'm
destroys left. You got Surge Off and Initio.
I'm giving away Zerjov, and I'm destroying Initio. That's my final answer. And I can add
Oh
context to it, but that
no,
is
you
my
no no
final.
no 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 context. You you
Okay,
are
that's
you
my
already
final
cut
answer.
deep. You cut deep. The wound is there.
You asking for all of the smoke with
Oh,
that
you
one.
hey, the
You
video
know,
Jess, the video just got paused and you about to get 100 comments. Now,
Yeah.
let's see
I
though
love that for me.
let's see if Kareem could duck some smoke, all right? Keep, giveaway or destroy. Chanel, Tom Ford, and Dior.
This is tough. So I'm gonna keep Dior, destroy by Tom, and and I'm gonna give away Chanel.
Oh, you're a
I knew you
good
were gonna do
friend,
that.
Kareem. You're a good friend. Tom Ford?
Bye,
Gotta
S-
go.
Tommy.
I knew that.
Bye,
Because that would
Tommy.
have been my answer too.
Hey, listen. A lot of people don't know, man. Tom Ford got like 200 fragrances, man. So people
Yeah.
be getting hurt by a couple of the hits. You know what? I respect it. Okay, let's go hyped niche fragrance ratings. I need a 1 to 10 score. Both of you participate. Give me your score for Naxos.
Uh, was or what I think it is now.
Out of 10, what do you rate it currently?
Um,
6.
yeah, I was gonna go 6.57.
Virgin Island water.
That's an 8.
Yeah, 8. I agree.
Must therapy.
6.
7.
Santal
7.
33.
2.
7.
Santal 33 is a 7 for you?
Yeah, now it is. I
Bianca
mean, I still like it,
latte.
but
Bianca Latte. Well, I'm a gourmand girl. I'm tired of the DNA, but it's like an 8 for me.
2.
Wulong cha.
A
It's like an 8.
3.
You don't like Oolong Shah? It's like an 8.
Hey, this is gonna affect y'all's next episode. Ball to freak.
Oh, I
Oh,
love. It's like
oh,
a 9.
that's an 8.
Okay. Delina.
That's a 9.
Not the exclusive.
Just
Just
OG,
Delina.
OG Delina.
7.
Tobacco Vanille.
Oh, that's a 9.
Tom Ford, right?
Mm-hmm.
8.
And lastly, Greenwich Village.
Oh, I have that one.
Bond number
7.5.
9. Bond number 9. Yeah, that's an 8.
Okay. No decimals, by the way, Jess. Whole numbers
Oh,
only.
okay. Well, then I'll put it at an 8. I'll put it at an 8.
Okay, now that was niche. I need a 1 through 10 for these designers. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dior Sauvage.
4.
7.
Eros Blue Bottle.
7.
6.
Gentleman Reserve Privé from Givenchy.
Oh, that's an 8.
I don't know that I've smelled that one.
Whiskey, Iris, and Vetiver.
Whiskey,
Okay.
Iris, and Vetiver. I don't know that I've smelled that, but it sounds like a 9. It sounds like it'll be full of goodness.
Okay. Aqua di Gio.
The OG.
Either for Jess, we'll leave it open. Any of the Aqua di Gios, give it an average. And for you, Kareem, Profondo.
6 for me.
That's an 8.
Okay. Prada Ocean.
Oh,
That's like a
that's an 8.
9.
That's an 8.
Okay.
It's like a-
Gucci Guilty Elixir.
Oh, 10 for me.
8.
Okay. 1 Million Royal.
The
8.
Royal.
You could
I'm
just
trying to picture
judge
it.
any 1 million, Jess. They all
Okay.
smell very
8.
close.
Okay, 8.
Okay.
I agree with 8.
I'm interested in this one. Dior Fahrenheit.
A one.
Yeah, like I was gonna say three, but it's
I feel
no.
like a four or less is all the same thing. Um, Lamal from Jean Paul Gaultier.
Well,
That's a 10.
same, because you don't get no. I love JPG 10.
Okay. And lastly, Blue de Chanel.
That's like an 8.
That's a 10.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. So now we got 3 questions left, and then we're gonna wrap up very quickly. Um, Kareem, a guy walks up to you and he has a collection, very small collection. His fragrance collection consists of Prada Carbon, Jean Paul Gaultier Lamal, and 1 million. And he says, Kareem, what should I purchase next? What am I missing? What are you going to tell him to get?
He's got a bunch of clean stuff and he's into designers. So I would put him in a different direction. I'd give him Hugo Boss has a fragrance. Um it's I believe a brown bottle.
So
I
Boss
can't remember.
Boss bottled
I think it's Boss bottled.
mm-hmm.
I think that's it. I would suggest something like that. That would go different from the clean, but designer, smells good, isn't gonna set him too far off the beaten path.
You know, Kareem, I'm shocked you didn't say a Prada.
I I I thought Prada Black, but nah, I'm gonna go give him something outside of Prada since he already has that. But
Okay.
you really can't go wrong with Prada because you could easily say Dolce Gabbana the one if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think Prada's made a bad fragrance. Um, Jess, girl
Yep.
walks up to you. Hey, boo. She's got a collection, very small collection. On her shelf at home, she has Valentino Donna,
Mm,
she has Burberry Goddess, and she has
mm.
Ariana Cloud. Jess, what should my next fragrance be?
Donna Born Aroma, Ariana Cloud, Burberry Goddess. She seems to like a little bit of a gourmand. And so I don't know if she needs any more in that category. Um, but oh, it sucks because they don't make the fragrance anymore. I know I'm leaning back, but I'm looking. But if they, I want to put her in a different direction, and I would point her to YSL Libre, the not the original one. If they still made it, it would be Vanille Couture, but they don't make that one. So like the next one where the juice is a
Intense?
little darker. Yeah, like the
Intense.
intense version. The OG is a little screechy for people, but that intense version is a little bit smoother. So I would do YSL for her.
I don't think Libre can ever go wrong on a woman. It just seems like a very universal fragrance
Yeah.
that women can feel really good rocking for quite a few occasions. Okay, guys, we've reached the end. I have one last question for the both of you guys. You ready?
Yeah.
What fragrance to the year 2026, so we can go as far back as y'all want, what fragrance in your collection has single handedly gotten you the most compliments you've ever received, period? Kareem?
This is tough. Um, yeah, you're not gonna believe me when I say this, but Herba Puda.
Mmm. Now, see, Jess threw away Surge Off, so, I don't know what to do with that. Herba Pura, beautiful. Okay, Jess, what about you?
This is crazy and I'm torn between two, but I'm gonna go with, and it's crazy that it's designer, but it is Donna Born in Roma has literally gotten me the most compliments out of everything that I've worn and I own.
Mmm. Mmm.
Yeah. And that's crazy to think about. I just was criticized about that being a choice for me to wear like on a first date. somebody asked me, and I said that fragrance, and they criticized me. But
Why?
honestly, um, they felt like out of all the fragrances that I had, the fact that I would wear that one on a first date was insane to them. I think they were thinking I would say Louis Vuitton or Vallejo or one of those, but single-handedly throughout the years of me wearing fragrances consistently, that is the one that gives me a compliment every single time.
It's a layup. That's a layup right there.
There,
Yeah.
I do believe there's a such thing as a fragrance doing too much. And I know that that sounds blatantly obvious, but I
Mhm.
think even a fragrance that you enjoy could be doing too much. When you're interacting with somebody, approachability is everything, and sometimes a little bit goes a long way in that category, just to have a familiar, pleasant. If you're familiar and you're pleasant to the nose, that is enough. You don't have to sit there and let creativity weave its way around. I feel like any fragrance where somebody has to think to smell it on you, even if it's think positively or negatively, like I think it has diminishing returns. Whereas when you have a fragrance that's very just approachable, understandable, and just, oh, this is pleasant, point blank, period. There was a guy that said something really interesting. This guy is a high end niche collector, has probably over $100,000 of fragrances on his
Yeesh.
shelf.
I
Older,
love to meet him.
older gentleman. I met him at a fragrance event, the first Arizona meetup that we held a couple weeks ago. And he posted today or yesterday, he said, I don't give a rat's you know what about notes. And I thought that that was just fascinating because to the world that smells you, they probably don't either. Like
That
that's
part.
not a language that they think with when it comes to smelling you. You either smell pleasant or you don't. And they're not going to ask you what notes are in that fragrance that you're wearing. They're just going to say you smell great or hide the fact that you smell ridiculous or say what is that, right? I think there's something to be said about that part of the game, the simplicity of you smell good, you smell pleasant, not necessarily like, oh my gosh, what is in this, and this is complex, and this makes you sit and think real hard for a while. That's one thing that I don't even just want to say designers, because I know of some very complex designers. Just simpler fragrances, I think, will never be out of my rotation for the fact that they are just such a layup to so many things in my life that I'm doing, and they do enough. And it also reminds me of my journey where I wore the same 5 fragrances for like almost 20 years before I became a collector. And that's that fragrances served a purpose. And when they served it, I didn't feel the need to get something else. It mission was complete. I was wearing a fragrance to get girls, wearing a fragrance to smell clean, go to work, and I could do that. So why do I need an alternative to that? There's just something to be said about that. Good answers, guys. We've hit our hour mark, so I don't want to hold you for too long, and I also don't want to spoil, having all the good nuggets y'all are dropping in here on one episode. We got to space it out. I want to have y'all back. I want people to know where they can find you. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. It was long overdue for sure, but I'm glad I had the time to really prep because I really respect what you guys do. I respect the authenticity. It's a privilege to meet people that really care, just about themselves, let alone the content that they do. I feel like that's conveyed in the content that you guys do, that you guys really care and that you guys want to bring value to the community in many different ways, and to the creativity that you guys have brought to the channel with the whole panel style and the lifestyle and community aspect of everything outside of fragrance that goes into the fragrance journey is very much important, not just these bottles of fragrance. So I really appreciate you guys for coming on. It won't be your last time. Kareem, why don't you tell us where we can find the Can We Be Fragrant side of things, and then if you guys have any individual stuff, plug it now.
Okay. Just to circle back real quick, we were talking about Boss. So it's Boss Bottled Absolute.
Absolute,
Uh,
yes.
the brown bottle. But yeah. Um, everything can be found on canwebefragrant.com. We're on every place imaginable, uh, unless I haven't thought of it yet, where you can stream or listen to or watch a podcast. under Can We Be Fragrant. Um, I just want to say thank you for having us on. I know a while ago you had reached out on YouTube, I think it was, and we instantly connected. I checked out your content. I was like, this guy's dope. He gives out good energy. He's got a radio voice. He would be great. And we rapped back and forth, and you eventually ended up coming on the podcast and giving us your time. So thank you for having us on here, and I'm glad that Jessica and I are able to reciprocate just some of what you've given to us.
Thank you. Jess?
I am For the Love of Jess on IG, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm working on a YouTube. That's coming soon. Of course, you can find me on the podcast. But I just want to share Kareem's sentiments. Getting to know you has been so great. It started off on the podcast for me, and then, between the TikTok lives and the content and everything in between, the channel, Discord, like all of the things. It has been such a pleasure to get to know you, and I'm so glad that again we could return the favor for you, because I think we both were really looking forward to this, and it was a great show.
Yeah, and it's a two-way street, guys. It's a privilege to have community that just inspires you, and doing content can feel very lonely, especially when you feel like you're on your own path and stuff. So to share sentiment and with other people in the community that are out there, passionate, honest, I don't take stuff like that for granted, which is why, when I learned about you guys, I reached out immediately, because it's like that stuff isn't around much. So it's an honor to have you guys on. Hopefully this is just the beginning of a whole lot more dope conversations. For the people out there, I'm going to plug, as usual, all of their socials below so that you guys can watch their content. Their content is informative. It's broad. It's narrow at times. They get into different pockets and scratch the itch of kind of edutainment, I'd like to call it. It's very much a community feel. It's a place you can go and see a lot of faces, where you can grow and see personalities and the development and how people change. And it's just great energy. Like, it's impossible to go to the Can We Be Fragrant podcast and feel anything other than just good, positive energy and excitement for your journey. Like, you watch an episode and now you got homework to go do in your own journey. That's like, I got to look up this fragrance. I got to go watch that last episode. I got to see these guys at this next event. Just super dope people, super dope content. And I will be more than happy to continue to support and raise the tide for you guys in your channel by just being a voice for you guys, sending people your way. Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. Start a conversation in the comment section below. I know I'll be there. I'm sure these folks will as well, to interact with the community. Let us know if there's anything about the episode that stood out to you or that got your wheels turning, any new fragrances you got put onto. This is community driven, so it's your feedback that kind of curates what's to come on this channel. And we're definitely going to have these great folks back. Again, this is SB, Kareem, Jess, Can We Be Fragrant, Nigel. I'm coming for you, so hurry up and come back in town so we can get you on here next. And we love y'all, man. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.